Free mind, you crazy for this. Soulful. It's like our responsibility to make us feel something. You know, to make people feel what we feeling. Hey, yo.
Regie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. Despite what that headline says, this is actually Comics Today, a show that we do on Wednesday to basically celebrate the best day of the week, that being New Comic Book Day. And this is our 70th installment of Comics Today. And it's something that I decided to do to add something to the programming here at the channel, and I think by and large it works out incredibly well. I had a subscriber reach out to me recently and asked if I had thought about bringing trivia night back, and he's like, I'm getting older and I'm always reminiscing over the good old days and some of the stuff that has been done in the past. And I'll be honest, I have not thought about trivia day in a very long time, but shout out to my man Vika, aka Closet Geek, for that blast from the past, talking about trivia night. We used to do that like once a month, and we did it for a stretch of time, and Vika actually used to sponsor the giveaway at one point. And so it brought back a lot of very fond memories. And it's one of those things that the channel has continued to grow and evolve over all of these years. And it's just kind of cool to think back over all of the stuff that I've tried and done, and some of which has worked and some of which hasn't, but just the evolution, if you will, of the channel. So again, shout out to all those people, including Vika, that have been around for a while, that continue to hang around, continue to contribute to the channel. I appreciate you all. I will tell you that this has been an incredibly busy week for me. We've had family here at the house pretty much since Sunday night. Technically, I think since like Saturday, but a lot of family in and out of town. And as a result of that family and trying to entertain everybody, we are not going to have a guest on tonight's show. It's just going to be yours truly, trying to entertain you guys. And I did solicit some questions on the Instagram, so we are going to take a look at some of those questions that have found their way to me. And I'm also going to show you guys a couple of books that have shown up here at the house as part of my subscription service from mycomicshop.com. It finally kicked in and books finally showed up. So I will show you guys those here momentarily. Shout out to everybody that is in the live stream right now. And again, I'll be going to the chat here in a hot second. So if you picked up some books and you want to rattle off what it is that you may have picked up, if you read something that was really awesome that we should put on the top of our reading stacks, I definitely encourage you guys to let us know what those things are. And if you want to shout out your LCS, you can feel free to do that as well. So I got a tag earlier today from Comics with Bueller. He is on the road. I think he's in Albuquerque in New Mexico. And he posted up that he was, hit a bunch of shops today because it's New Comic Book Day. He's doing this whole, cross-country type of tour in a bus. And he was sitting outside of a comic shop. And I'm actually familiar with the owners of that shop. I met them a couple of years ago at a con, and they allowed me to hold I think it was like basically the first two appearances of Wonder Woman. It was like $2 million of comics that I was able to hold in my two hands. Just a really cool experience. Shout out those guys at the comic shop, and shout out Bueller for tagging me as well. I think my chat is maybe behaving a little weirdly, so if I do not see something you guys say, you may have to repeat it. Alex Mendoza said he picked up Captain Carter 2. Definitely want to keep seeing where the story goes. I have heard nothing but good things, Alex, about Captain Carter. Nothing but good things about it. I think I read issue 1. I want to say I read that, and it was not bad. If memory serves me. Luis Mendoza's up in here. How you doing? Alex Mendoza. Is there a relation? I don't know. Is there? I don't know. A lot of Mendozas tonight. Phil Tastic, how you doing, brother? He said no LCS for me, but just got my copy of The Stranger in from Kickstarter. He'll be checking that out this weekend. That's what's up. Trev, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. What is that? Doe? Yeah, Doe. How you doing? He said picked up Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk 1-6 series. That is a dope series. One of my favorite like Wolverine Hulk battles. I'm not going to ruin it for you, brother, but if you have not read it, it's an interesting read. There are also multiple versions, I do believe, of the first issue. There's like I want to say it's like a white one, a gold one, and then I think maybe one other, but it's been a while since I've been in that bin. At one point I was on this whole Hulk versus Wolverine, battle homage cover kind of thing. So I was picking up a lot of that stuff and of course reading it. So just some good stuff. Let me show you guys real quick what showed up here at the house. Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 37. I believe that is the A cover, I want to say. Here is, I think, the B cover. Cool Miles Morales there. Not necessarily the best drawing of Miles Morales, but a cool one nevertheless. I dig this one. I don't know why I dig this one. I just thought that was cool. I think I already have one copy of this that I picked up, but this one is part of my subscription, so that's why I'm showing you that. Venom issue number 7. I've been trying to catch up on some of the Venom Dylan stuff that's happening. And then the last book that showed up here is Moon Knight issue number 10. I only read the first couple of this, but again, this is my subscription kicking in. So we have some Moon Knight action going on right there. Those are the books that came in from my comic shop, from my subscription. And I'm definitely not seeing chat. I'm going to have to keep refreshing. So you guys are going to have to bear with me because I was way behind. We're not related as far as I know. That's what's up, brother. Liger Style said, picked up too much today, as I should. That's what's up. I'm scrolling through some of the comments here. Let me see. Vox said, got G.I. Joe 40th anniversary of issue number 21. A dope Hulk 4-6. New nice house on the lake. Is that out? Is they started that up again? What did we get? Issue 6? Is it issue 6 or is it maybe 7? I can't remember I think it stopped at issue 6, so we're probably at 7. I got to check that out. John Carter 1, Animal Castle number 5, Hulk 6 was a letdown, says Trav. I respect it, brother. Scrolling through, my man Yule's in the house. How you doing, brother? A comic shop owner that I used to hit up. And in Berkeley, California, I used to drive over to his shop, man, and deal with that horrible parking over there. But Yule, it's good to see you, brother. You guys probably saw, if you've been following the channel, some good footage in Yule's shop there in Berkeley. He had some really nice collections come in at various points. At one point, there was some wonderful DC, specifically Flash early issues. And as you guys know, I wasn't a big DC guy, so I just skip right over them. I mean, they were cool books, but I kind of regret not picking up more of those while I was there and had the opportunity. But Yule, it is good to see you, brother. David Wong, how you doing, brother? He says, started reading Nice House on the Lake. What a page turner, having so much fun trying to figure out the mystery. Man, Nice House on the Lake is good. There is no doubt about that one at all. Chris Bigger's in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Scrolling through some of the comments, there's a little bit of discussion about digital comics and getting the hard copies as well. Scrolling through the comments here. Hit up Herman, hit up the LCS today. Coastal Comics in Myrtle Beach. My parents are actually headed to Myrtle Beach. They're going to be doing some camping there. David says, nice. Oh, so I missed it. I missed the Miss 7 then. Okay, well, that's what's up. I need to play catch up. Thank you, guys. I need to play catch up. Alex Mendoza says, blessed to have 3 LCSs. Shout out to them. We have Titan Moon, Dragon's Lair, and Austin Books and Comics. That's what's up. Good stuff, brother. We have to support the LCSs. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Didn't make it to the LCS, says Joseph, but we'll make it tomorrow. That's what's up. Turbo Man is up in here. Chris is up in here. L. Smith, how you doing? Hulk has been ungood, about to drop it. That's what's up. All right, so I think my chat is all caught up. Let me answer one of the questions that came in. What I will also tell you guys is that I did not mention this at the top of the show, but this recording will be available on the podcast in about a week or so. My brother releases the podcast on Mondays at 10 a.m. So you can actually listen to this show on the go, and along with probably 100 other shows on your favorite podcasting platform. All you have to do is search for Regie Collects and you should be able to find it. So there's a question here from Mark. He says, will loading 20 short boxes into a truck count as a workout of the day? No, Mark, it will not. Probably you knew that because of the smiley face you put after the question. No, brother, you do 20 long boxes and that might be a good warm up. 20 short boxes, no, brother, that won't get you there. 40 long boxes, and you get a little huffing and puffing. Now you're doing some stuff. So shout out to Mark for submitting the question. Chris Bigger sent me a question, and in true Chris Bigger fashion, the question is, how you doing? You forgot the proper punctuation, but I got you. How you doing? I am doing well. Family left out of here, man. The house got quiet all of a sudden. The noise level, the decibel level dropped. But I will tell you, I enjoy my in-laws, and we honestly had a really good time. So I am doing well. Black Comic Lords is in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Yeah, I'm giving Hulk and Venom up to issue 10. What, I missed a comment. And then I may drop them myself. That was my philosophy, man. I give you 10 issues. I give you 10 solid issues to get it together, and then I'm out of the game. All right. So one of the very first things that I wanted to talk about is something that I spoke about very, very briefly at the end of a long show. And I almost did not squeeze it in, but I went ahead and did it. And I'm kind of sort of glad that I did, because this appears to be an ongoing saga with one actor in particular getting himself into trouble. And it's not quite clear why. But the actor is Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller is the actor that actually plays Flash. He has been arrested for allegedly throwing a chair at a woman's head and leaving her with I think it was a half-inch gash on her forehead. I guess this guy was at a private party. It was at a private gathering. I may have been asked to leave, got mad, threw a chair, hit a woman. So yeah, this was actually yesterday, about 17 hours ago. This news story came out. It says Ezra Miller, known for playing the Flash, was arrested early Tuesday in Hawaii after allegedly throwing a chair at a woman and leaving her with a gash to her forehead. It's the latest in a string of negative headlines involving the star, and it came the same day that he appeared on a Zoom call to plead no contest to a disorderly conduct charge that stemmed from an incident at a karaoke bar just last month. And he was charged in this latest incident with second-degree assault for allegedly throwing the chair. He said this happened. He became irate when asked to leave an acquaintance's home and threw a chair at the woman. He was then pulled over and arrested. I think the last time he was in trouble with the law was because he was at a karaoke bar. He snatched a microphone from a woman and lunged at a gentleman and was arrested. I think he is now already out on bail. I think he's out on bail already for this most recent incident. But what's interesting is that when you read some of the behavior in this instance and the previous, those are the only two instances that I'm aware of. Part of where your mind immediately goes is, okay, he must have been drinking or on something. And what's interesting is like there's no mention of that. Like I haven't seen any mention of him being intoxicated or under the influence. And not to make excuses, but you're like, okay, it's late at night. The guy, it's 2:00 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning. The guy's been drinking. He does, he gets into altercations, and you kind of maybe understand, but there's no mention of that. And so it's like, is there something else going on, right? And when you don't hear that, then you're automatically thinking maybe are there some other issues at play that are potentially concerning. And so, where my mind automatically goes is I start to think about this actor who seems to be getting himself in trouble without explanation. and you know that he has a movie that is going to be coming out. And I think that the movie is actually slated to come out in the US here the day before my birthday. It's scheduled to come out June 23rd. And the movie has been delayed multiple times because of COVID, because of director changes and all this other kind of stuff. But the question is, like, is the movie going to be released? Are they actually still going to release the movie, even with this guy actually getting in all of this trouble? And, you know, if he's been in trouble basically once a month, are we going to see him in trouble for the next several months leading up to the movie being released in June? It's an interesting thing. And you know, I had somebody ask me recently. Somebody asked me recently about having actors sign comics and what happens when those actors are no longer playing the role that they were once playing, if they get into trouble. And this person may have been thinking about Ezra. I'm honestly not quite sure. But you know, what were my thoughts on having actors actually sign comics? And as you guys know, if you follow me, you know I'm not huge on signatures. First, two, I tend to prefer creators, comic book creators, actually signing comics versus actors. And then you see headlines like this and you're kind of like, well, there you go. There's a reason why you potentially don't want to have an actor sign. You know, I will say, you know, all jokes aside, if someone has a desire to have an actor sign a comic, you should do it, right? It's your comic, it's your experience, you go for it. But in my head, I think maybe that's not such a good idea for me personally, right? And the challenge that I had, of course, is that in my experience, you don't have a whole lot of actors who play comic book heroes that are getting into trouble that have signed enough comics to be able to look at the data to figure out whether it is detrimental or not to have them signed. So I kind of struggled with responding to this person. But again, it'll be really interesting to see how all of this stuff plays out. My hope is that Ezra gets himself together and realizes that he has a really wonderful opportunity. I mean, he plays a pretty good Flash. I mean, he's awkward, he's quirky, which is not how I envisioned the Flash to be, but I can get on board with it. But, you know, hopefully he recognizes how wonderful this experience and opportunity is, and he, you know, gets himself together and does not miss out on this. So WB and Discovery merger has my approval. My guess is that Ezra can't behave. He'll be done after the next film. I mean, you could be right, man. Chair throwing is Flash's new superpower. Oh, Kevin, come on, man. Kevin, what is that? My eye says actors can be replaced just like Katie Holmes. And then we saw the comment from Phil Tastic here. You know, I think that actors absolutely can be replaced. And I don't know if he is so tied to the character that they could not find another Flash. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he's so wedded to the character. You know, I think if you make like enough movies, I think, or TV shows or whatever, I think people now are, you know, that is Steve Rogers kind of thing. That is Captain America, you know, but maybe, you know, they aren't quite there with him. But you're right. It'll be interesting to see how they actually play it out. Matt Wood says Ezra needs to watch out or his next show would be naked. Not with the sash, brother. Not with the burlap sash. That's just with the blurred boxes. It's just, I find myself watching that show because I'm just like, man, that's just ungood. This whole thing is ungood, but I still watch it anytime. Johnny Depp got the boot on allegations. Ezra Miller is on his third strike policy, I guess. Is this his third strike? I've only been aware of two. Is he on his third? I mean, it must be nice. It must be nice. Johnny Depp, though, I don't know if you can compare it to Johnny. You know, I think Johnny Depp had a long history of bad behavior. So I don't know. Out of Justice League Part 2 coming soon, hopefully, says Evan. Technology can CGI. Oh man, they even did it with a mustache. Multiverse, there are all the flashes. There you go. The CW Flash needs to be the big screen Flash. I actually like the CW Flash. To me, that's more of a Flash to me versus the quirky. I don't know. Maybe everyone has a different Flash in mind, but I kind of like the CW Flash. So There you go. Put dude from the CW as the main flag. There you go. Liger's on it. He's on it. It seems like that might be he might get the call. If Ezra keeps messing up and throwing chairs at women and snatching microphones and all this other stuff, what is that? Ezra is trying to get out of his contract. Whew, you think? Think? What else would he do? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Dude looks 5 pounds so good. Oh, fantastic. I probably shouldn't have put that comment up there, but yeah, he's not necessarily the largest, most robust gentleman, you know. So you could be right. Let me see. Scrolling through, Ezra wants to be the next Hulk, says Kevin. You guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. Mark and went out there and found the correct name of the actor that played. Well done, brother. Well done. You know I don't know actors' names at all, so well done. Bring back there was a comment there. Bring back the CBS Flash from the 80s, says Liker. You going way back right there. All right, so for those folks that came in a little bit late, the actor that currently plays the Flash, Ezra Miller, has been arrested for allegedly throwing a chair at a woman's head and leaving I think it was a half-inch gash in her forehead. So some interesting stuff here. I honestly think that they're probably going to release this movie, right? I really do think that they're going to release it. It sounds like the movie has already been delayed. Lots of delays, lots of cost, I'm assuming, but it sounds like it's also already in the can. They have a release date. And they're going to, I think, release it in the theaters from what I've seen thus far. And it sounds like potentially they're going to use this movie to maybe set some things right. I mean, there are so many rumors that swirl about with this movie and what it's going to be and who's going to be in it and what it's going to set right and what it's going to undo and all this other kind of stuff. And in fact, the next thing that I wanted to talk about, there was a little bit of a connection here to the Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman script. It actually leaves the door open for Henry Cavill. And there are some rumors that Henry was actually going to appear in the Flash movie as well, like some kind of appearance. But I'm not going to go into this one all this deep. But there were a lot of rumors about what was going to actually happen with Ta-Nehisi Coates and the J.J. Abrams upcoming Superman films. There were a lot of speculation that Ta-Nehisi was actually going to make his about the Black Superman, and that we were going to potentially get Michael B. Jordan. That was actually going to be the actor in that. This article that has come out here on CBR kind of says that that's not potentially going to happen. Let me see if I can find the section here that kind of gives us some of this detail. It says, many fans believe the film would use Val Zod and the Superman of Earth 2, but in May of 2021, it was revealed that Ta-Nehisi was crafting an original Superman comics film, and that the film will have the protagonist hail from Krypton and come from Earth. So let me see. Scrolling through indicated the film will be set sometime in the 20th century, but with Cavill's rumored involvement, it is unclear if it will be a period piece. So again, it kind of sets the stage. And I think it's here in this article somewhere, it actually talks about there is the possibility that he would appear in the Flash movie along with everybody else in their mother that is rumored to appear in this movie as well. So, and to some degree or another, this goes back to something that we talked about just the other day, where they are talking about revamping DC Films division and trying to put somebody in there that can set a tone for where the movies and the TV shows could actually go, similar to what Kevin Feige actually does. And again, I don't think that would be a bad thing. Going back real quick to the Instagram, there was a question that came in. Evan actually asked me what I thought of the Moon Knight episode that came out. I will tell you, I have not seen the episode. I started watching with my niece, who is 13. We started watching, not yesterday, the day before Batman. We started watching The Batman on HBO Max. We watched about an hour the first night before I put myself to bed. And then we started watching last night. And it was about 20 minutes before I faded off to sleep. So I've only seen about an hour and 20 minutes of the movie. So I have not seen that. And I also have not seen the Moon Knight. I am looking forward to seeing the Moon Knight. But as we talked about, that show is only going to be a single season. So every single episode is an important one. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. I don't know whether I'm going to watch Moon Knight tonight or try to go back and recapture the excitement that is known as the Batman, but we will see what happens with that. There was another question that came in from my man Chuck, and he says, any interest in pre-code horror or other Golden Age books? The answer is yes. There is some interest there, not in pre-code horror. I have zero interest in pre-code horror. That's just, it's not my jam. Not my jam in any way, shape, or form. I think there's some really cool covers out there that I think are awesome, but not for my collection. There are, however, some Human Torch Submariner comics that I would love to add to the collection that are Golden Age. Some of those Alex Schomburg covers, at some point I will add those to the collection. There are, you guys know me, I work in these phases where I give myself these goals. And so the main goal was to get a respectable Silver Age Marvel collection. To some degree or another, I was then going after Silver Age, DC comics, because I believe that those are undervalued, but that has been somewhat sidetracked by some of the projects that I am currently working on, one of which is the Isolation comic, and that sucks up a lot of resources. And so at some point, I will start to make some magic happen again with the Silver Age DC books. So we will see what happens. All right. Scrolling through. Let me see. Okay, I think I'm all caught up. Charles says, I love pre-code horror. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Pre-code horror is going up in value. David says, today's Moon Knight was so good. Episode 4 better be good. The last episode was I will tell you. Hold on a minute. Steven says, I just finished watching the latest Moon Knight episode before the show. It was good and left on a messed up cliffhanger. There you go. All right. So I will tell you that for me, it's not necessarily about the value of the Golden Age comics. It's more about, I enjoy reading my comics. And the stuff that was written in the Golden Age feels like it was written in the Golden Age. The stuff that was written in the Silver Age, for whatever reason, it speaks to me. Even though it too can be very dated, I can get on board with Silver Age writing. So I read old ASM, I read, old Batman, and I enjoy it. As quirky as it is, I enjoy it. And so I kind of like to buy the stuff that I like to read. And if I buy Golden Age, I probably won't read it, So again, nothing against the Golden Age. It's just not my jam. It's not my jam, but that's great because it leaves a lot of room for the rest of you guys to snag some of that stuff. So scrolling through, I'm a big EC horror fan. That's what's up. A lot of people are. A lot of people love that stuff. Steve says Grimm's Ghost Stories is his guilty pleasure of horror books. That's what's up. Bulldog, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Isolation, best time travel comic on the market. Scrolling through some of the commentary, and my vision is not very good at the moment. Suffering from some serious allergies, and so it sticks to my contact and it just throws my vision off. Evan says, love the episode, I guess, of Moon Knight. And he says, gonna rewatch again to check out things that I may have missed. That's what I'm hoping Isolation pays off and gets Reggie's. Brother, I'm hoping that it pays off because I want people to see the magic that has been in the works for some time. I want to get it out there. I want people to see it. And to that point, I think next week we're actually going to have the creative team on to talk a little bit about Isolation, the comic, and we will also take a look at some of the artwork for the very first time. To this last comment here about horror comics, there was a question here from Mark. He says, do you think Marvel and DC horror books will see a comeback? It is impossible to know. At one point, somebody asked me a question about westerns, Western horrors and stuff like that. And I said, no way, it's not going to happen. No one's interested in horror and Western horror. And then all of a sudden, there's like this, like the next day, it was like this massive influx of announcements regarding like horror, Western horror. I felt like I got set up. I feel like it was a true setup. What I will say to you, Mark, is absolutely. I think that Marvel and DC horror can make a comeback, and I think tomorrow it absolutely will be back in full force. I'm guessing that there's going to be, some advanced solicitations that will drop tomorrow that will make me look bad if I say anything other than what I just said. So I think that what's old becomes new again, and to some degree or another, it's like people are trying to find really good stuff, really good ideas. People are being extremely creative. That's why I call it the golden age of comics, because it is. There's so much good stuff that is happening right now. It is unbelievable. I'm just trying not to get myself jacked up, brother. What is it? I love it. I'm feeling like Indiana Jones as Major Comics. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. I'm going to play a little bit of a commercial here for a hot second, just to try to see if I can get myself straightened out. Bear with me here.
The platform designed by collectors for collectors just got even better. MySlabs.com is proud to now feature dedicated sections for both raw cards and raw comic books. Browse over 100,000 slab collectibles, authenticated by the industry's most trusted grading companies. Then check out a massive selection of sealed wax and now raw singles and raw lots. Join a passionate, no-nonsense community of nearly 50,000 members and enjoy some of the best buyer and seller protection in the business. And as always, MySlabs offers one of the most disruptive pricing models in the hobby, with seller fees as low as only 1%. So the next time you're forced to pay 10%, 20%, or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com, the low-fee marketplace, by collectors, for collectors.
All right, so I think I have myself somewhat straightened out. Part of the reason why I wanted to play that is because MySlabs has been sponsoring the channel for, man, it's been maybe 8 months or so that we've had a relationship, and tonight is actually the last night that I'm going to be working with MySlabs. So I wanted to make sure that I played their commercial and acknowledged their support of the channel. And they are making some different moves. They're kind of shifting some things around, evaluating some things, and they may actually come back at some point as a sponsor. But tonight is going to be the last night that I'll be working with them. And I, again, wanted to acknowledge their support. And I also wanted to head off anybody asking questions about what happened. What happened? Why are you no longer? It's because they are making some adjustments, and they're going back and they're figuring out, how they're going to market and promote themselves. And once they figure that out, there's a chance that I could be working with them again. So shout out to the folks over at MySlabs for supporting the channel. I absolutely appreciate you guys. And again, as you saw in that commercial there's a way for you to buy and sell your comics, whether they be raw or graded, over at MySlabs, and then also other collectibles as well. Charles says, I never heard of it. Now you have, sir. You have now heard of MySlabs. It's a dope website. Dope website. You should absolutely check it out. They have some solid inventory over there. Doug's like, thank you, MySlabs. That's what's up, man. I definitely appreciate those guys. So super, super good guys. What is that? 30 Days and Night, man. I'm gonna tell you, that comic was good. That was a good horror comic. I love that one. I saw the movie back in the day, thought the movie was solid. I read the comic and I thought the comic was pretty darn solid. But I like Nosferatu. I dig that kind of stuff. Thank you, Squirrel Madness. Definitely appreciate it. Let me see. Scrolling through some of the comments here. I've bought off of MySlabs because of the commercial on this channel. Hope they still advertise. Yeah, we will see. We will see what happens, man. And I thank you. I thank you for supporting them, right? Because a lot of what happens is these companies come to me because they know that I have a good relationship with the comic book community, I have a good reputation. And so part of what they're doing is, supporting me, advertising through me, but it also, when people support them, that helps reinforce the decision to support me. So thank you, Matt Woods. I definitely appreciate that, brother. So scrolling through some of the comments here, Turbo Man, different slab. Different slab, brother. It is not that kind of slab. When are you going to dive into Star Wars? When the Mandalorian comes back? Is that the right answer? I think that's the right. When the Mandalorian comes back on, I will be all about the Star Wars. I'll be honest with you, brother. That is not my jam. That is not my jam. I have never been a big Star Wars fan. I've never been able to get into it. I'm more of a Trekkie than I am a Star Wars fan. So, but when you think about the Mandalorian, oof, Grogu, whoo, that Mandalorian is just incredible. It's an incredible show. So I'm looking forward to that. Eric says, I bought from MySlabs too. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that, my man. I definitely appreciate that. Scrolling through. Okay. I think I'm all caught up. All right. So one of the other things that I wanted to make mention of here, I will be honest with you. I felt like Mark, and I felt like some other people that knowingly say that they don't like something and recognize that maybe they're just being a little grumpy and they're like, nah, I don't like that. I felt that way when I read this next article. I was like, I don't like that at all. I just don't like it, you know, and I could not put my finger on why I didn't like it. I was just like, I don't like that. And then I started to think, okay, well, maybe if they tell me a good story, I can get on board. And I'm picking fun at Mark. I'm picking fun at Mark because he was on the show the other day and we had a whole conversation about him being grumpy. Doe was asking about Obi-Wan Kenobi coming in May. I'll be honest with you. I'll try to watch the stuff. I'll try the same way I tried to watch The Mandalorian, and it was amazing. I watched Boba Fett, and that was like watching dry paint. I mean, watching paint dry. Boba Fett was not excellent. It was not excellent. It had moments of excellence, like what was it, episode 5 when the Mandalorian showed up? Dope. Couple of scenes in there that were good, but some of it was super painful. It was super painful. But Mandalorian, yeah, give me that. Scrolling through. Okay, I think I'm all caught up. All right, so let me go to this last thing that had me feeling like the guy yelling for the kids to get off my lawn. It's this story right here. It is this story right here that I found on CBR. And it says Spider-Man gets a new costume and a vehicle designed by the Green Goblin. Just from the headline alone, I had just not good images. I pictured the Spidey mobile and Hammerhead on the cover of ASM. That is immediately what came to mind, as did the Green Goblin broom, the vacuum that he rode on his first appearance. Those were the things that came to my mind. And it says, in Marvel's upcoming Amazing Spider-Man relaunch, Peter Parker is getting a new suit and vehicle designed by one of his foes, the Green Goblin. This article actually came out 2 hours ago. I am not going to read this whole thing to you, but Spider-Man has a spider glider. He has a spider glider. Spider-Man with webs that swings from skyscrapers has a spider glider that lays flat on his back when not being used and can additionally function as a rocket pack and miniature lab rover. And they go on to talk about, let me see if I can find this thing. It goes on to talk about in here. Oh, here it is. It says, designed by Patrick Gleason, which is a good thing because Patrick Gleason is super talented. It says designed by Patrick Gleason. The outfit comes with a digital mask and egg bomb belt that can release thousands of baby nano spiders onto upcoming enemies. I just don't know an egg bomb belt and a spider glider. You know, and again, I found myself cringing a little as I looked at some of the photos down here. And then I landed on, he is using a spider web to hold on to the glider when he has the ability to hold on to any surface using his feet. I'm on the struggle bus. I'm on the struggle bus. But what I will tell you is that if they tell a good story, I will get on board. Nick Spencer's run was incredibly painful. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction. Fingers crossed that this is a step in the right direction. I'll be honest, as I stare at these photos right now, I don't know what's going on with Spider-Man's back leg. I don't know what that leg is doing, but it is not working. That leg is not working. But yeah, there you go. Spider-Man is getting a new costume. He's getting an egg bomb belt and what was that thing called? What was the backpack called? A spider glider. A spider glider. So there you have it. That was my old man moment of the day, where I just rejected the notion of it. But I'm honestly, fingers crossed. I am hopeful that they will get Amazing Spider-Man back on track, because it has been a very long road where things have not been good for ASM. The last little bit with this Beyond Corporation stuff is really good. I don't know who the writer is, but he or she is doing a really good job. We're getting a reboot. Fingers crossed. I think the first issue comes out next Wednesday. I think April 27th. I think that's when it comes out. So what is that comment here? Every new volume and artist creator have to make their mark. It's just par for the course. That's true. You know, one of the things that I saw recently, you guys that are DC fans may be able to correct me just a little bit. What it appears is that on the Batman titles, what they do is they change the logo. They don't reboot the numbering system. They just change the logo so as to denote a new creative team has actually come on board. And that honestly might not be a terrible way to go. I mean, it's not Marvel's way to follow DC, but it's actually not a terrible way to go. I had not exactly paid attention to that until I saw that about a week ago, and I thought it was interesting. I thought it was quick get to the web. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Needs a fanny pack to go with it. I mean, he releases spider eggs. It's not a good look. Why is he releasing spider eggs on enemies? Like, what do they do? Like, what do they... Next is green lights on his eye. Oh, no, we've already gone through that phase. We went through that phase a while ago. It's no worse than Wonder Woman's invisible plane. But Wonder Woman has had that from like early on, hasn't she? It was created in a different era where nonsensical was actually okay, right? This is not back when Wonder Woman's invisible plane was created, because yes, that is nonsensical. I completely agree. Does it come with a card? Do I get a card with my face on it, kind of making a grumpy face? Welcome to the grumpy bus. The spider glider will be parked beside the spider buggy. Well done. Well done. As I was going through that little monologue, I was like, man, I'm super grumpy with this one. But yeah, X-Men did that with the new X-Men egg bomb belt toilet paper. You're right. I mean, if you think about it, I think it was the Spider-Man buggy. I think it was the Spider-Man buggy that they introduced so that they could roll out a toy. I want to say that that's what I remember. Like, it wasn't like a creator being like, yeah, Spider-Man needs a buggy. But I think it was like them doing it so that they could sell some toys. Like, you know, you can't just have a figure. The figure has to have stuff. He has to have a vehicle and some jets and all and spider bombs and all this other kind of stuff. Like a megalo spider car. Going back to the 90s, everybody is about to get armor again. Oh my goodness. You know, the only thing that's better than armor is pouches. Just give everybody some pouches. That's all that we need. Are we sure it's Peter Parker in the suit and not Norman Osborn? That's a good question. I mean, it's a good question. It could be. I mean, to be honest with you, as I was reading it with the nanobots, I was getting a whole Doc Ock feel. I was getting a whole Doc Ock kind of vibe, because that's what he used when he was Superior Spider-Man and did a fantastic job as Superior Spider-Man. And he was a dope Spider-Man, no doubt about it. And I've honestly been enjoying Doc Ock the last little bit. But has Norman been around? I feel like it might be time for some Norman action or some Red Goblin. We haven't seen like a Red Goblin since what, 2019? And that was hot for a little while. I have some 9.8s over here, so I need the Red Goblin to come back so I can do something with these 9.8s that I have sitting over there. How does one use a glider in New York City? Oh, man. Oh man, you guys, who doesn't want Spider-Man themed Doom buggy? If it was like adult size, brother, I might I might sign up for that. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna just be honest with that. Scrolling through some of the comments, you guys are hilarious. Nothing says I grew up in Queens like a dune buggy. Oh my goodness, you guys are hilarious. I'm just excited to see JR back on the art again. I am not a huge fan of JR. I'm not. But because he has a very distinct art style, that is not necessarily me. But again, give me a good story. You give me a good story and some okay art, I can get on board. I can get on board. I mean, I would rather have a good story and okay art than excellent art and a not so good story, right? I'll be completely honest about that one. So you guys are hilarious. Speaking of that, my kid caught his first fish earlier today. His aunt took him fishing for the second time, and they used real worms this time. And my boy caught a fish in the lake. I don't know what the fish was, but he caught a fish and he was super excited about it. That today was a big day. I wish I had actually been out there. Instead, I was inside on a Teams call. I was doing work, trying to pay for all the stuff that we have, but he caught a fish and I was very, very excited for that. And his aunt, I think, took him out there because I said that it could not be done. And then she proved me wrong. So I'm very happy that I was able to encourage her. Now the boy is probably going to want to go fishing all the time. He probably is going to want to go fishing all the time now. So the bigger question is, if the Spider Glider is a hybrid electric, it probably is. It probably is electric powered. They have to plug it in at night or something like that. It's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. No, not call it Norman. No, we actually had to give the fish back. So here at the property, we have these 3 lakes or whatever. I think there's like 3. It's catch and release, all catch and release. I think they stock the lake with fish routinely or whatever, but it's all kind of catch and release. You have to have a summer garage con. When I was living in California, I think we did one that was twice in the year, and one of them was, I think, during the summer. We will see. I cannot sign up for that. I will tell you, like, it's hard. It's hard trying to get the wife to sign off on having people come to the house and all the work that's involved with it. But you never know. You never know what the future holds. If GarageCon, which happens in November, either November 12th or 19th, if it is successful, then you never know what the future could hold for a summertime GarageCon. I will also tell you that Doug and I will probably be trying to hit some cons here. I don't know exactly the schedule, but we may be someplace at some point somewhere in the country. And there may be an opportunity for us to meet more people face to face, especially now that they've lifted the mask mandate for planes and all that good stuff. It's hot it's hot and sweaty in North Carolina. It gets really brutal. Oh my goodness, this guy again. There is a benefit to having a fence. Keeps the riffraff out. Especially when they try to park the bus in front of you. Travis, it is good to see you, brother. I was talking about you earlier in the show. I should have known that was going to bring you out. So it is good to see you. My plans are in the works. The plans are indeed in the works. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. Again, with family being here for as many days as they were, I'm a little behind on several things. I will tell you that I think some really good content that I've been trying to think my way through, that I need to film for you guys, that hopefully will be coming out relatively soon. I think it's going to be some stuff that folks will enjoy. At least that is my hope. I have one additional video that is actually coming out tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As I mentioned to you on the Sunday show, I was asked to do a review of a product, and I was extremely skeptical about this product, and I'm going to share my thoughts with you on this product tomorrow, and I definitely want to encourage you guys to check it out. There was a video that was released on Monday. It was a video on why people should stop overpaying for comics. In that video is an opportunity to actually get a $100 credit from our friends over at Shortbox. I'm probably going to announce the winner of that on next Wednesday's show. So you still have a week or so to get it done. I want to encourage you guys to watch that video. It's a good video. Plus, you also have an opportunity to get a $100 credit from our friends over at Shortbox. So do not miss out on that opportunity. All right, let me go back to the chat real quick. Let me see. Can we talk about why the Black Panther 3, is it the Clark variant or is it the other one? Yeah, man. A lot of speculation about that book. If that's the book that I'm thinking about. I think I actually showcased that book in about 2 videos as of late. It was a wonderful, wonderful example. So you guys may want to check that video out if you guys haven't seen that. But I think I am I got a bad feeling about this product. Eric, well done, brother. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. As always, if you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.